It's been way too long since I posted anything on this channel. I'm still writing music and recording, and I'm gonna take you through a song that I just wrote. Wrote it in about an hour. My girlfriend was out running some errands, and I was at home doing some other work, and I had popped onto Facebook to respond to something, and I saw a post from somebody from one of my favorite characters in American history, Mark Twain. I have two real, my favorite personalities from American history were Benjamin Franklin and Mark Twain, just because they were such interesting people and very forward in their thinking, willing to look at new information and ultimately change their minds about things. So this day and age doesn't happen a whole lot, and so I always found them to be interesting. In any case, this was actually a misquote of a Mark Twain phrase. The quote is often quoted as, "The reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated." The actual quote was, "The report of my death was an exaggeration," and it was at the end of another phrase. He was responding to an obituary being written. But either way, I saw the quote and loved the quote, and I don't know really why it prompted in my mind the idea of somebody using that phrase to talk about really relating it to the death of a relationship. And so that's what prompted the start of the song. And it just started flowing after that. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of what was happening here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm doing on the recording side of it, because the recording is coming out really nicely. So picking my guitar here. So remember, the quote I saw was, "The reports of my demise, or the reports of my death, have been greatly exaggerated." So had the guitar capoed on 5. I'd been kind of playing another song. I just kept it there. And the first line I wrote down was, "The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true." And so I just wanted to take that known phrase, incorporate it, but give it a little bit of a twist. So this is kind of where it went. And once again, Deb was out shopping, and at some point she called me, and I think I was really 2 lines away from completing the entire song, just to let me know she was on her way home. And I was like, oh man, I've got this song done, so hopefully I can complete these 2 lines, which I did before she got back home. So I think the entire song, start to finish, might have taken me 70 minutes or something like that. So it doesn't always work out like that, but a lot of times I can write pretty quickly. So this is kind of where it went. The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts. I gave my heart and whole, you returned it with a crack. And I could play the angry man, and I could shake my fist, casting insults and aspersions, shout I didn't deserve this. But all I'm left to do is contemplate our time. Was it sweet? Was there passion? Was it true? It eased my troubled mind. I know that they're not fair, these answers that I seek. That's the lonely, that's the jealous. I admit it, yeah, I'm weak. And I won't hold you to it, we both know it's a lie. Still I love to hear you say it. It might just help me get by. And I could play the angry man, and I could shake my fist, casting insults and aspersions, shout I didn't deserve this. But all I'm left to do is contemplate our time. Was it sweet? Was there passion? Was it true? It eased my troubled mind. Alright, so that's kind of the gist of it. I go through a little musical break and then come back to the chorus. That's it. Short song. It's actually under 3 minutes. So I'm going to show you what we're doing recording-wise and what I've laid down for it and kind of my process of going through that. I'll actually show the actual screen so you can kind of see what's going on in Reaper, which is what I used to record. So let's jump through that. So that's Troubled Mind, and I like the song well enough that I think I'm just making it my next project name, and we're just going to build 5 other songs around that, have a kind of an EP based project, because I definitely need some guidance, some direction. And what I mean by that is if I have a project, it's something I can work towards. I can pick out 6 songs, which I already have a bunch of them in close to release form, so just need to get those done. And I like the idea of a project named Troubled Mind, and I'll pick songs that kind of fit that motif. All right. So let's jump into what we're recording. I'll show you the Reaper screen, and we can kind of, get an idea of what's happening here. So let me pop into that. Okay, so let's take a look at our Reaper project here. And always what I do initially is I have just a standard beat, a drum track that I record to, and I knew the tempo of the song. I give myself an 8 count lead in, and then I record a scratch track to it. So if you want to see kind of what that looks like, what I do is typically go back to the start here. If you zoom in, you'll see there's just 8 beats, and then it starts this really simple drum beat. And if we just muted that out, this is what we've got. Just me recording the guitar and vocals at the same time. Just worried about staying on time. Basically, that's all I'm really trying to do there. So I didn't even know the lyrics. You can hear I'm kind of fumbling my way through. Alright. So once we do that, what I do is I go back and I just record acoustic guitar over that, my regular acoustic guitar. You can see I did a couple tracks here of acoustic. This is the one that's kind of holding for the time being, and so this is what I laid down first. And I'm recording just to that beat. I don't have drums in here yet, or any real percussion, just that kind of standard drum beat going on. So I do that, and then the next thing I do is I add vocals, and we've got those here, so I'll mute those out. I'm just gonna, or not mute them out, solo those. So now I've got the guitar, the beat, and the guitar, the vocals, and the drum track.
The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts.
Alright, so that's what we had so far, and then I went back and I said, okay, let's put a bass in here, and I'm pretty happy with where the bass has gone so far. So we have a bass track right here, and we'll just go to the start here so you can kind of hear what we got going on.
Reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple.
Alright, so once we had that down, I decided I wanted to add a little lead guitar to it. Lead is not necessarily my forte, but I wanted an idea put down there before I sent it off to somebody else. And so we added this little part here. Actually, I recorded it all here, and then I picked the spots that I like and throw them up into a new track.
The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts. I gave my heart in whole, you returned it with a crack.
Alright, so far so good. I like what we had there. And then I added a clean electric, and we'd have fun with that a little bit. You'll hear arpeggios when I come into here, and just kind of a chime right here. So here we go.
The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts. I gave my heart in whole. You returned it with a cry. And
So far that's what we had, and then we added some backing vocals down here in the chorus, and they're not great. We're going to redo those, but just wanted to see how I'm building this. I'm going to go right to the chorus. You can hear them here.
And I could play the angry man, and I could shake my fist, casting insults and aspersions, shout I didn't deserve this. But all I'm left to do is contemplate our time. Was it sweet? Was there passion? Was it true? Baby, ease my troubled mind. I know that they're not fair.
Alright, and then finally, we've added a crunch guitar, and we're going to be kind of remixing parts of this, but let's go up here, and then I'll let you hear the guitar solo I added later on, which I doubled. Give it a little more oomph, but let's see what we got here. So we added this crunch guitar here. And you can see I have a volume envelope. I drop it out completely here, kind of fade out, and then I bring it back in here, but at a lower volume, and then in the chorus I bring it up. So let's hear what that all sounds like.
The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts. I gave my heart in whole. You returned it with a cry. And I could play the angry man, and I could shake my fist, casting insults and aspersions, shout I didn't deserve this. But all I'm left to do is contemplate our time. Was it sweet? Was there passion? Was it true? Baby, ease my troubled mind.
Drop the crunchy guitar out. Drop it out completely and start the next.
I know that they're not fair.
And then I added this kind of guitar solo where I'm just doing kind of like double stops all the way through it. So you can hear what that sounds like at the end of the next chorus.
Was there passion? Was it true? Baby, ease my troubled mind. My troubled mind. And I could play the angry man, and I could shake my fist, casting insults and...
So that's kind of where we're at with it. Still a bit more work to do. I'm not totally thrilled with the crunchy guitar. Wow, it's gotten a lot lighter even from the start of this video. The sun's coming up. In any case, I like the song well enough that we're going to get some drums done on it. I'm programming some, but I'm hoping to have somebody record some drums on it, and then we're going to make that kind of the central song of a project. 6 songs, I think. We're going to call it Troubled Mind. I like the title, like the sound of the song. It's short, snappy, very kind of like rock and roll pop-ish, I guess. It gets right to the point. In any case, hope you found it interesting, and please look for this to come out soon. And yeah, just if you found that interesting, I'm going to do some more videos like this. I wrote another song right after I wrote that song. Actually, it's kind of in the same key. Totally different vibe, totally different feel. But I'll have that as part of this project because it's got kind of we'll call it a darker overtone. In any case, if you like that, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel, check out some of the other music I have here, that'd be great, and let other people know about it. So thank you so much for tuning in. See you.
The reports of my demise, well, mostly they were true. There are fates far worse than death. There's no fate worse than you. If that seems too harsh a judgment, let's review some simple facts. I gave my heart and whole. You returned it with a crack, and I could play the